My second bus party, and it's my third time to ride the Cedar Rapids bus system.
And kind of what were your impressions of the ride today?
I found today's ride, the route made a lot more sense. It was a much straighter route than the previous routes that I've ridden on. It seemed to be much more planned of, this is the central bus transit area, and this is the area it's going to serve, and then it drove straight there, kind of circulated there, and came back. In the past, we've had previous rides, and it seemed like the routes were made convoluted simply so that they could hit the time window that they needed, and it wasn't necessarily just to serve that area. A lot of loops and turns like that.
Are you a regular rider of the buses?
I do not ride the buses regularly. I live less than 2 miles from downtown, and I work downtown. So unless my car's in the shop or something, it's just a lot more convenient for me to either walk or actually ride. I ride my bike a lot in the summer, and in the winter I'll drive or, like I said, take the bus if it's really cold or my car's in the shop or something like that.
So what stands between you and using the buses more regularly?
I think a lot of it's actually need. There aren't many places that are far enough that I don't feel comfortable riding my bike or just walking. And then outside of that is the time frame. The buses don't run after 6 p.m., so you can't really go to any event via bus and then ride the bus back. You're kind of stuck there once you get there. And the other thing, time-wise, is if I were to go to Hy-Vee and shop, I'd have to be shopping for a full hour because they don't route the buses so that you can take a different bus back.
I learned through Samantha. I knew she'd ridden the bus before, and so she invited us to the bus party.
And what was your impression of the ride?
Well, I kind of was hoping to enjoy the scenery and couldn't really see outside very well. I thought that it wasn't too bad. It didn't seem too crowded other than the people that we brought. I guess I knew a little bit about the bus route, and I think I've kind of come to the conclusion that it's not going to work out for me because I'd have to go downtown and then take another bus and just add a lot of time. But it seemed like a fairly pleasant experience overall as far as riding on the bus.
So routing would be a big issue for you if you were going to use the bus regularly.
Right. It kind of seems to be the case for a lot of people. I think that it's just be quite a bit of time and to go through that. So.
All right. So. What do you think needs to be done to foster a climate of greater use of public transportation? What could be done that would help people use it more?
So probably a greater awareness, but just a better bus system is kind of the first thing you need before even awareness. And I don't know if for Cedar Rapids, it's kind of spread out, and there's a lot of different routes that there could be the whole it would be hard to have one route that'd be comprehensive, so you kind of would have to have people skip around with different routes, and for that you'd have to have a good transfer system, which doesn't really seem like Cedar Rapids has at this point. So you can get off in one bus and then immediately get on another. Recently I went to San Francisco and I experienced that where a lot of the routes are linear, are very specific, but it's pretty easy to just get off one and get on the other to transfer to a different direction or location. So I think that would be one of the things that would encourage people and just make it easier get from one place to another.
Yes, it's my first time to ride on the Cedar Rapids bus system. Samantha told us about the bus party. She specifically told us because it goes by Rockwell Collins, which is our employer, so she thought it would be a good route for us to see.
And so just as Jordan said, you would have to come downtown and catch a bus back out.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so the routing isn't very convenient. Have you ever ridden the Cedar Rapids buses before?
No.
Okay.
And mainly because of the routing.
Okay. All right. And so what's your usual mode of transportation?
Personal car.
Okay. All right.
I would like to ride my bike as well, but there's no good bike paths either, so.
Okay. So one of the things Aaron mentioned was putting bike racks on the buses. Is that, if the routing were better, that would
help out, yeah. Ride my bike to the stop and get on and put my bike on.
What was your take on today's ride?
Well, we had a pretty good turnout. We had 10 people show up, and I think most of them had been there before. We had 4 new people had never ridden the bus before. They're a little bit quieter, other than my husband, but he's heard a lot from me. I think there was good discussion again, but since some of them had already ridden, we kind of rehashed some things we'd already talking about. We talked specifically about the route that we rode today, and if it was a good design or not. And then it was kind of a more social one, I think. People that knew each other were talking about other things going on in the city, and so that was good to see different issues, things people had heard, rumors, stuff like that. So it's always good to have people talking.
What do you think the primary obstacles are for people to use public transportation?
In Cedar Rapids specifically, I think it's website. It's very hard to use. You have to use at least 3 documents to find out when to get on and where to get on, and then you also have to check and see if that same route works for where you're getting off. And if it doesn't, then you have to open even more documents, and a lot of people just stop there because it's too complicated. We'd like to move them to something better, but right now it's kind of a money and time issue. Another one is if it doesn't come near them, then people aren't going to go out of their way to ride the bus. And then timing. Right now, because of the flood and ridership and things like that, most buses ride every hour. There are some that ride every half an hour for peak purposes, but that doesn't work out with people's schedules all the time. They need to get to and from work, they need to get kids to basketball games, pick them up from dance class and things like that. And then another one is the hours that it runs. They have expanded hours so that the last one leaves downtown at 6:40, but then you still have the whole evening. So if people want to go out and do social activities, go downtown for the evening and not have to worry about parking, it's just not available.
What are next steps for you in terms of trying to foster greater ridership and greater understanding and use of public transportation?
I'd like to work with the MPO on trying to find better routes. Can't completely change them and throw them away because that affects people that are currently riding, but come up with a plan on how to better cover the city, and hopefully from that we can work on better frequencies so that helps people. Another thing that's easy and free to do for the city is set up commuter lots. I know that in the winter time sometimes I'll drive my car to Target on my route, and then I'll get on from there because I don't live close enough to just walk there. I live about a little over a mile away, and with bad weather, so things like that could use to help encourage people, especially in those cases where it's bad weather and it's a benefit to ride. So I'm looking at low-cost, short-time things that they can do to kind of add benefits and also encourage people to